What's going on, guys? I am Switters. Welcome back to the channel, and today I have a quick guide for you on how to complete all of the zombies challenges for Season 4. You can also see with my new character here, I made it all the way to the end of the battle pass. Got a few free things there. So that's my little new guy. Anyhow, just in case you didn't know, you can scroll to the right on the top bar here over to challenges to see what your seasonal challenges are. Just click on that and it'll bring up the page and show you everything you need to unlock. Now you do need to get to level 190 to unlock the final challenge, which is My Way, as you can see there, before you can complete all of these. So if there's a few that you're on, let's say you're on level 40 right now, so you can only do these first 4 for now, just go ahead and save the video in your watch laters or something, and you can always come back and check out the later challenges and how to do them. Most of these will be fairly straightforward. I have some video evidence or help, or however you want to look at it, as to a few of the other challenges that are a little bit maybe more difficult to understand, or on just exactly how to complete them, but we'll go through that. We'll do this as fast as possible. I don't want to make this a very long video. So, very first thing, drop the hammer. In Outbreak, get 25 eliminations shortly after landing from a parachute. This is very straightforward. You can either take a jump pad, jump on from it, open your parachute, obviously. When you land, just start killing. Try to land like near a horde or a group of zombies and just start killing them. Go up to a tall building, anything from like with 2 floors, basically jump off the roof, and you can pull your parachute, land down on the ground, and just start killing zombies as soon as you hit the ground. Weed Killer. Earn 10 overgrowth medals, which is killed 5 or more enemies rapidly with your toxic growth. Preferably, you would have your toxic growth to tier 5 by now. If you do, you can store up to 3 different charges of these. So I would definitely do this. I did it on Outbreak, but what I would do if I was going to just do this challenge was get on Maschine or Firebase Z if you prefer. Something like that. Just anywhere you can train up a whole horde and make them funnel through a very specific area and just put your toxic growth down. Do one at a time. If you have all 3, you don't need to put down all 3. You do one, let that do its business, run them back through. You can run through your toxic growth, by the way, without getting hurt. The zombies will get hurt and killed. You can run back and forth through it without hurting yourself, so just keep running them back and forth through it. This one is very easy. Toxic growth, actually, I made a whole video on it, how I think it's actually a really good field upgrade that I paid no attention to up until very recently, because I just thought, a thorn bush? Who the hell cares? Anyhow. Vehicular Assistance. Earn 25 gunner medals, which is killed 3 or more enemies rapidly using a vehicle's weapons. So there's the deuce-and-a-half truck. It's the big truck that you can drive that has the turret on top, and there's like the dune buggy type, which is actually in the calling card there. Those are the 2 vehicles in Outbreak with mounted weapons on them. So you just basically go from driving the car to the gun and shoot. If you don't know how to get to the gun, switch from your driving position to the gunner position. For me, I play tactical, so I would just push down on my right stick. So for those that play standard, you would just hit your melee button, I believe. Excuse me, your crouch button, not melee. You would hit your crouch button, and that would bring you up to the gun position. Shoot, obviously get a few zombies together, have them lined up in front of you, have your vehicle facing them, because you cannot 360 on the turret. You've got a kind of a narrow window, from left to right where you can aim. Don't let the zombies get too close to you, though, because they will overtake. Once they get too close to the vehicle, you can't shoot them anymore, and they can do a fair amount of damage, especially to the dune buggy, just whacking it, So you don't want to lose your vehicle doing this, but you can do this definitely in one game. Harvest Time. In Outbreak, collect 5 rewards from rockets in the secure objective. This one is extremely straightforward. You need to do the secure objective. Just keep playing Outbreak until you've done enough of these and you've collected 5 rewards. That's literally it. Nothing else to it. Infrared, very, very, very simple. You could use the MG82, the new LMG, or anything really that you want. It's just with the MG82, you've got a lot of ammo in it. Any kind of LMG would be great. You could use the M16, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure it has an infrared on it, and make sure, in order for the kills to count, you have to be aiming down sight. Do this again on a round-based map, Maschine, Firebase Z. You just get it done so much quicker. This, again, you can easily knock out in one game. You could do this while you're doing the weed killer one. A lot of these you can combine. So if you've already reached a like level 100, see if there's certain things in here that you can combine to make your experience a little bit shorter and easier for yourself. Look out below. In Outbreak, kill an Orda with a melee finisher. I put a video out. It's literally a minute long of me killing the Orda with a melee finisher on my channel. So if you want to look at that, I would definitely check it out. So I'm not going to include the video here. You don't need to take him completely from full health to no health with a melee weapon. You don't need to do that. I literally, if you watch that video, he literally doesn't have any red in his bar left. I got kind of lucky because I didn't mean to shoot that last couple of bullets, but I did. And he was still standing, so I just ran up to him, slashed his foot basically with my melee weapon. Done. That's it. So you can do this. You don't have to do the second Easter egg to do this. If you're just playing Outbreak, you get Ordas on the maps now occasionally. It might even start on round 1, but if not, round 2 or higher, you can take him out. I've also seen, I haven't done this yet myself actually, because I don't have a lot of melee weapons unlocked. I just haven't gone for those challenges. That melee weapons actually do the Orda a lot of damage. So if you're standing right at his feet, you're not completely safe, and they've made him a little bit faster now. Made his attacks a bit more powerful. But what I would do is just get him down to very, very low health. If you have, like, let's say, Ether Shroud, if you're using that, pop your Ether Shroud, run up to his feet, basically, like I said, and just start knifing him and knifing him and knifing him. Or you can use Ring of Fire. That way, you're doing a lot more damage. Just with that, you might get killed. Out-of-body experience. Use a chopper gunner or cruise missile support with 5 or more enemies in close proximity. You can do this in Outbreak. You can do this in a round-based map. It doesn't really matter. Doing a round-based map would probably be easier because you can earn more salvage quicker, and you can buy more chopper gunners or more cruise missiles. Just let a group of zombies get fairly close to you. They don't have to be so close that they're already hitting you, but just get them close to you. Just call in the score streak, and that counts. It's very, very simple. So just make sure there's 5 or more around you at the time. So again, like I said, if you're doing it on a round-based map, that's very easy to manipulate how many are around you. I would do the cruise missile just because it's cheaper, but up to you. That one is very simple. This one is quite simple as well. Gun fishing. In Outbreak, collect 25 items from fishing. On any Outbreak map, just go to the nearest body of water and look for on your mini map, not the map that you pull up by pressing the select button on your controller, but on your mini map on screen, in game, you can see a little fishing line. You guys probably know what it looks like by now. And I tested this a little bit because the way it's phrased, it's collect 25 items, so I don't know if you had to pick it up or not. But it even counted for me when I was doing it, when occasionally you would fish and get the boot that turns into the mimic. Those counted for me. So as far as I know, all you need to do is pull out of the water with a fishing rod 25 different items. I would equip it, like if let's say it's a stun, but you don't want to use a stun, just collect the stun and throw it really fast, then pick up whatever you had in your tactical slot that you want back. That's how I did that. Very, very simple to do. Blinded by the light, I do have a video here for you on this one. Kill 25 enemies stunned by Healing Aura. Now, if you're like me and you play solo, you probably haven't used Healing Aura very much, so I had to kind of test this a little bit as I was playing around with it for the first time. But you basically need to be right up against whatever zombies that you want this to work on. So you're going to see me in this next clip here. I get a group together and I just literally run into them and then immediately press my Healing Aura. They knock down. Then you shoot them as soon as they hit the ground. They need to be the ones that fall down, like completely stunned by the Healing Aura beam coming down. So they basically have to fall down onto the ground. That's how you'll know that they are stunned by the Healing Aura. And that's when you can kill them and get credit for them. So once you know that, it only takes 25. Again, this will not take you very long at all. Hipster, earn 500 critical kills without aiming down sights. This is where that new weapon, the MG82, the LMG, came in super, super, super handy for me. If probably some other LMG would work, you could use whatever weapon you want, but with the MG82 with a laser sight on it, this thing was deadly accurate for headshots. just aim a little bit higher. Obviously, don't aim down sight. I mean, just watch where your laser is pointed at the zombies. Do this on a round-based map. Get hordes together. This will take you up to maybe, I don't know, round maybe 15, something like that. You can knock this one out super, super quick. On a budget, again, you're going to want to do this one on a round-based map. Every time I say round-based map, I do it basically on Maschine, unless I say otherwise. Just because I'd prefer to be on that map. I just don't care for Firebase Z very much. So if I need to spend some time on a round-based map, I'll do it on Maschine. Plus, the training area in Spawn is great for funneling a whole horde of zombies through a small area. So with this, you need to kill 100 enemies distracted by a decoy. That's the tactical decoy that you throw, using a frag or a semtex. I'm going to tell you to use a semtex 100% of the time. A frag is a more powerful grenade than the semtex, but the decoy is a very short-lasting tactical. So when you throw it on the ground, you've really only got a few seconds before it stops beeping and distracting the zombies and they come back after you. Frag grenades need time to cook. So unless you're doing this co-op, if you're doing this solo, 100% of the time use a semtex. If you're doing this co-op, you can have your buddy throw the decoy down while you've already started cooking your frag grenade. And like I said, the frag grenades do more damage, so you could get this done a little bit quicker that way. But let's assume I'm going to assume everybody's doing this solo. I would use the decoy. Obviously, you have to use the decoy, and I would 100% use semtex. Once you get into even slightly higher rounds, semtexes will only knock most of the zombies down. They won't kill them. So you might want to not have a super powerful gun at this point of the game. Get the zombies a little bit weak before you throw the decoy down and then the semtex. Or just try to throw 2 semtex really quick. Or just exfil on round 11 or 16 and just keep doing it again and again. Very simple. Pit stop, earn 100 freelancer medals, killed 3 enemies rapidly with an equipped weapon on a vehicle. Now I have a video for you on this as well, because this was a little confusing, because this one, pit stop, sounds very, 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 very similar to Vehicular Assistance. The difference being that Vehicular Assistance, you're using the mounted turret gun on the vehicle. With pit stop, you're using your own gun and you are in basically the passenger seat. So the 2 vehicles that I'm going to recommend for this is the motorcycle and it's not a Jeep, but basically it's kind of like the Jeep. It's the roofless truck, pretty much. I prefer the motorcycle because you only have to switch between the driver's seat and the 1 passenger seat. With the truck, you have to go between 4 seats, so it just takes longer. With this, just basically get a horde like I have here. Get 3 of them. It has to be 3 at a time that you're killing. Get 3 of them close together. Make sure you can take them out with whatever weapon you're using on the vehicle, not when you hop off like that, to get these medals. It's very simple. The only problem with the motorcycle, as you just saw there, though, it's quite weak. So it cannot take a lot of hits from the zombies, but it is far more maneuverable. And like I said, you only have to switch back and forth between the 2 seats. So much better to do it that way, I think, than the truck. But as you can see here, basically, again, you just, from the driver's seat, you have a group of 3 zombies together, pop up into the passenger seat, L trigger, and now all of a sudden you pop up and take aim. Like this here, boom, 1, 2, 3. Knock them down, and you're good to go. And again, you see me switching back and forth between the seats here. It's just kind of a pain. So use the bike if you can. Root Canal. In Outbreak, complete 5 Fury Crystal World events. This one is extremely straightforward. There are the events where you see the Fury Crystals. Instead of, it looks like an ether crystal, but it's basically an orangey red kind of glowing crystal instead. And when you shoot the crystals, if you shoot all of them, there's like 6 or 7 of them usually in each event that will pop up after you shoot the first one. You get to upgrade your gun with an ether tool, so you can go from rare to legendary, etc., etc. But this is super straightforward. I'm sure you already know how to do this, but anyhow, it's one of the challenges. Growth Spurt. Upgrade a base weapon to Pack-a-Punch level 3 in 1 purchase menu session. This one is very easy as well. You can just do it with your starting weapon. You don't have to get fancy with it. But if you're having difficulty making it to higher rounds with a lower tiered weapon at the time, because you're going to need $5 grand for the first Pack-a-Punch, 15 grand for the second Pack-a-Punch level. That's 20 grand that you need already, and then 30 grand for the final Pack-a-Punch level 3, which is a total of $50,000 points before, you have to have that all at once. So you're not going to be able to do this until probably somewhere between round 12 and 15 you would be able to do this. I basically just ran around in the starting room, kept everything close together, built up my points to well above 50 grand because you have to open doors. Don't forget to get from the spawn room to the Pack-a-Punch. Don't forget, once you get there, you also have to turn on the power and you have to go into the Dark Ether to get the Pack-a-Punch part. This one is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. What you could do is buy a weapon off come into the game with your base level gun. You could buy something off the wall and start upgrading that early so that Pack-a-Punch is ready for you, and then go back to your base weapon that you started the game with and upgrade that from no Pack-a-Punch to all 3 Pack-a-Punch in one go. It's not very difficult just to do it straight from the beginning. A good compromise: get 500 eliminations with tactical rifles. This is probably the easiest thing on this whole challenge board here. Use your M16, get 500 kills with it. Very, very simple. If you do this on Maschine or Firebase Z, probably take you 20 minutes total. That's it. Just start with an M16, which is, the Hauer and the Gallo are the 3 best guns in the game. So this one is super simple. You can Pack-a-Punch as well. You don't have to stay on the base level with this. You can Pack-a-Punch it. You just need to get 500 kills with it. Super, super, super simple. He had the split, and I've got a video for you on this as well. Kill 10 specials or elites with the Tomahawk lethal equipment. I'm going to recommend you do this on Outbreak. You can see me here with a ballistic knife. Basically, shoot him one time, throw a tomahawk at him. Shoot him one time, throw a tomahawk at him. This one is pretty easy. You're going to have a little bit of hit and miss because sometimes you're going to accidentally kill the mini boss. But I would do this on, like I said, Outbreak. You're just going to get so many mini bosses. You could either do it on this, or the only other thing, I wouldn't recommend it for Maschine, because splitting the Megaton with a Tomahawk is just going to be a little bit too finicky, and they don't pop up that often. You could do it on Firebase Z. Let's just say, hey, you're a Firebase Z master. You get so many mimics on that map that it could be worth it. Just the Tempests are so easy to take out with the Tomahawk that, for me, it just worked best this way. Plus, you can do other things while you're doing this. So that's how I would recommend doing it. Again, I hit him one time with a ballistic knife. He's going to drop, and then Tomahawk, boom. The other thing that's great about the Tomahawks is you can throw, and then once the body's dead, you can run back over them and pick them all back up. It's not a one-time use. So great thing about that. Anyhow, not too complicated, pretty easy. Like butter, another one that I have a video for you. Kill 100 enemies with their elemental damage weakness. The weaknesses we're going to focus on here are, for the dogs, is going to be fire, or you could put napalm burst on your weapon, which I do not recommend. What you're going to do is instead equip Molotov cocktails to take out the plague hounds, and this will count. The other thing you can do, if you're doing it on Maschine, like I absolutely recommend that you do this on, is put dead wire on whatever gun that you're using, because you can take out a couple of megatons while you're in the process of doing this. But all you need to do, that's the elemental damage weakness for the megaton, by the way, is dead wire. All you need to do is start doing the Easter egg, the very beginning, where you're collecting the ether scope parts that you see me doing here. Each part that you pick up, 6 dogs will spawn in. You funnel them through any particular area. I used Noct here because it was the simplest thing to do. Get them all funneled into one location, throw a Molotov at them, done. So you need to get 100 of these done. I would recommend, again, just keep doing this ether scope part, exfil on round 16 or whenever you choose. It's up to you. You could do this on dog rounds as well. It doesn't have to be the ether scope dogs. But just keep doing this again and again and again until you get all 100. Very simple. You see the metal pop up there, just showing you that using Molotovs do work. You don't have to put an alternate ammo type on your weapon. To the bitter end, earn 5 loot pinata medals. Destroy the ether orb in Outbreak. Again, this is a super simple one. The game is going to probably, if they do you like they did me, they're going to start messing with you the closer you get to it. So by the time I had reached around here, which this level, which is about, I think, 150 or 140, I started getting the ether orbs spawning in like every round, every time I played. And then once I got to this point to do this challenge, so level 170, I think this is, all of a sudden I'd have to go to round 4 before an ether orb would spawn in. But anyhow, you guys, I'm sure, already know how to do this. It's the blue glowing orb that you find around the map. It won't show up on as a world event on your big map that you, again, if you hit the select button on your controller, it will show up on your mini map on screen though. So you have to keep an eye out for that and also keep an ear out for it. I can't possibly go over every location right now of where it will spawn in on every map. But again, if you guys have been playing this at all, you know exactly what this is. Just shoot it. It's going to throw out a whole bunch of cash for you. Chase it to its next location. Shoot it. It's going to drop a whole bunch of points for you. It's going to go to another location, follow it there, and finally make sure you get to that point and shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. It will explode, it's gone, and it'll give you points and a few different items that you can pick up, and done. Staycation and round-based. Reach round 20 without leaving the starting area. Now this one is a bit of a misnomer. It's not reach round 20. You actually have to finish round 20, and I'm showing you right here. You have to make it to round 21. So don't finish 19, and then when that burns over to 20, you think, woohoo, I'm done. You're not. You have to make it to round 20, so through round 20 all the way to 21. So keep that in mind. What I did was I just kept funneling them around using, basically if you've done any training whatsoever in the starting area, you're going to know how to do this, but I just kept funneling them around using decoy grenades, and Molotovs are your best friends here. I use my Hauer shotgun because I still think it's the best shotgun. I just like it. Use whatever you like for you. Just stay in this whole starting area because there's a special little bonus. If you can stay in the yard on Die Maschine for 15 straight rounds, you get an achievement. I had no idea about this. It just popped up and I was like, oh, what is this? Like, what did I just get? Oh, okay, cool. I'll take that. I love an achievement once in a while. So a little added bonus to doing your Zombies challenges for Season 4. How about that? My way. Get 1,000 eliminations with a found legendary rarity weapon that you applied a blueprint to. Now that's the important part there, is applied a blueprint to. Also, it has to be a legendary weapon already that comes out of a box, or let's say you kill the Orda. That's a good way to get this, by the way, because on the early rounds you don't get very many, if any, legendary weapons from boxes around the map. But do all your challenges, take out the Orda, do the dark ether challenges, fill the dragon, do all that kind of stuff, and just hope that you get a legendary. It doesn't really matter what it is. You'll be able to get plenty of kills with this. But taking the Orda out, he almost every time seems to drop a legendary weapon. But now when you do this, you have to apply a blueprint to it. Basically, all you do is have the weapon equipped. You press the pause button. On that menu that pops up, it'll say one of the things is, you can quit the game right there, then do whatever. Or one of the options is to apply blueprint. Just click on that, and for whatever weapon that you have in your hand, it will bring up the menu of all the blueprints that you have of that gun, and you just click on one of them to apply it. That's it. Very simple. Also, I did test this to be sure, because in the past they've made it so if you had to do something like this, you were not allowed to upgrade the weapon, meaning this is already legendary, so you're not going to upgrade it that way, but you can pack-a-punch it. In other past seasons, you've not been allowed to pack-a-punch. You could only use the base weapon with the legendary blueprint, that you get the legendary blueprint on it. But now you can pack-a-punch this, so you can definitely make it stronger. You can pack-a-punch it up to 3 times, making it a very powerful weapon, whatever weapon it is, just to make it easier for you to get these 1,000 kills. 1,000 kills is a fair amount of kills in Outbreak. So you might take 2 or maybe even 3 games, depending on how early you find it in the gameplay that you get. Or if you try to push for a higher round in Outbreak, you can definitely get it all in one go. It's just really up to you. Anyhow, you do all of these, and then you get the final Season 4 Zombie Master calling card, which I have equipped already just because it's new for now. And I also reached my Prestige Master for this season, so I'm happy about that. We've done it for all 4 seasons so far, as you can see here. We've got our 4 stars. I'm going to get my sixth star by the end of the year. And that's it, guys. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please drop a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and I will catch you in the next one.